Hello guys, Dushan here, I'm back. So a lot of you have sent me messages asking why I stopped making videos and when will I continue to do the tutorials on the channel. So I just want to give you a quick update about what I've been doing. If you watched my previous video, you saw the announcement for the free masterclass that I had last month in June. And the truth is that I've been really busy with putting together this masterclass and preparing all the content for it. So that's why I wasn't able to create the weekly tutorials as usual. So now once the masterclass is over and all of that is out of the way, we can continue with the tutorials. So in today's tutorial, we're going to model a specific building called Sunflower Residential Tower. And this is the project that is located in Quito in Ecuador. And the architects who designed the building are called OOG Architects. And I suggest that you check them out. So you can have a glimpse here to see how this project looks like. I think that the idea was to create the sunflower petals and seeds and give the idea of the building being more like a biological entity than more like just a concrete building. So I thought this would be a good practice for you guys to see how we can model this in Rhino. So let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop one of these images that I just went through, and I'm gonna just put it here like this. And before doing anything, let's just I'm in the front view, and I will first create some reference lines. So let's log this just in case, and let's start with a polyline. So first I'm going to create these floor slabs, and then we're gonna build upon them. So don't worry about the measurements because we'll scale it down later. Now we just want to use it as a guidance. So let's see that this is, let's say that this is height for the floor height. And now once we have that grid, we can also put here like the ending of the building to know the extent how long the building will be. And once we have this, we can also, let's see what else we can do. Let's create some of these windows and these modules. So as you can see here, we can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these module-like windows, and you can basically see if you go around and if you take a look at the images, you can see that the glass is not going all the way until the edge there. It's going a little bit in, and then every second floor is the same, but this one has the slight angle here. So every second floor has the slight angle like this one and this one. And these two are straight, but they are not completely to the edge. So what we're gonna do, we're going to basically just use approximation here, let's say like something like this. And I'm going to create here one additional line, and I'm going to mirror this so I have the same distance. And on top of that, I'm going to make a line, and I'm going to say divide in 6 segments. Now I know that these segments are correct, so I'm going just to create some lines along the way. And now you can see that I have the initial modules. However, you can see that also these modules are a bit different. This one in the middle should be covering the windows as this module in this area, but here it goes slightly away. It goes all the way until the end. So we're going to have to also deal with that. But for now, let's go into perspective, and let's maybe start creating some of these floors. So first, I'm going to actually create curve boolean. I'm going to use curve boolean, and I'm going to create 2 slabs. So I'm going to start with this one first. So now I'm using curve boolean to get that surface. So now I have it, and what I will do the extrude curve. But what I also want to do, I actually want to know, I want this to be rectangle, so I need to make sure that I'm not using the distance that is different. So I'm going to use this curve that I just did, and I'm going to say rotate 2D, and I will rotate it. Let me just straighten this, and I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees like this. So now I know until where I need to push this guy. So you know that there's multiple ways you can extend this, but for example, let's now try something different. Let's go with the move face option. I'm going to select this face, I'm going to say space, and now I can basically say it, okay, I want it to go until there. That's one way. So now let's copy it over. Let's go from here to here. That's good. And one more time. And we can use yes, yes, and yes to keep the same directions. And we have these initial floors now more or less ready. Now we can continue with the rest. So let's log them for now. And let's go back and let's create maybe these windows, for example. So I'm gonna say curve boolean, and I'm gonna click inside here. So I want to know that this is going to be that line that I'll be using. So now what we need to do, similar thing. I want to have the same distance from here. So I'm gonna say copy, I'm gonna say copy in place, and now I have two copies in the same place. I'm gonna say rotate 2D, and let's straighten the C-plane again. Let's do rotate 2D, and now I know that I need to move this guy all the way until the edge here, like so. And let me see, this looks a little bit weird. Let's check, yeah. All right, so it's an easy fix. What you can do, you can select it, select the top, and you can say set points, and you can bring it to the Y direction here, and that's it. Okay, so now it's straight, and now this is like our window frame. So what we can do, we can just say rotate 2D, and we can say use the copy. Keep the C-plane again. So this is our copy. Okay, now we need to use the copy. You need to click here as yes to keep the copy, like this. All right, so now once we have that, we can basically say plan a surface, and we have our surfaces for the windows. And let's mirror them on both sides. Okay, so what else? So we know that this will be the extents of the windows. So let's maybe join them, and we'll deal with them later on. Now let's do the top part, the top area. So as we discussed a bit before, you can see that these windows here are a little bit different on this side. So the way that we're going to deal with this is basically we're going to use the same principle. I'm going to create one more line here. You can see that this inner area is much more, it's different than this one. So we want to extend this one as much as possible, and let's copy it over so we have it as a reference. And I'm going to do three things. So first, I'm going to create the same type of rectangle I created before, like this. I'm going to just move it here, just for now. Now I'm going to create one more, which is this floor, and I'm going to bring it also. I'm going to bring it until there. And I'm going to do one more thing, and that thing would be to create these two window fields. and let's also bring them, and use set point to bring them in the same position like this. Okay, so why we did this? We did this because we need to actually use this one, and we need to divide it in this area here. So I'm gonna create one line here like this, and one more time. Okay, this is just a helper line, and I'm gonna say split. I'm gonna split this guy with these two lines, and now I have these extensions. So why did I use them? Because I'll show you now. I'll just move this one more helper line. As you saw before, not all of these are straight. You can see that in some of these images that this is slightly angled, this floor. So that's why we're gonna actually angle it. So how do we do this? We just use rotate. Let's switch to the C-planes, and let's use it rotate to D. So I'm gonna basically rotate it until the intersection here, like this. And that's all I need. All right, so now once we have this this area here, I think it's actually, the angle is too big. So I'm gonna rotate it back a little bit, something like this. And the last thing is I'm gonna do scale 1D, and I'll just bring this guy until here. So I will just reduce the size a bit. And I will do this on this side as well. And let me just mirror it, and there you go. Now we have this this side as well. So what we can do, let's group it for a second, and let's move this into position. So I'm gonna just use the move command, and I'll bring it all the way until here, like so. And now what we can do, I'm gonna ungroup it, and for example here, let's use close curve. Let's do planar surface. We can do the same as on this side, close curve, planar surface. And with this, and the last one would be to actually use these curves. I'm holding a Control and Shift to select these, and let's do planar surface here as well. And these would be joined now, and let's mirror them. Let's do Orient. So I'm gonna do Orient. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna use these two references, and I'm gonna place them here. So that's the final result. As you can see, we need to trim both sides a little bit. That's fine. So we're just gonna use split. Let's use this, and use these guys. And now we can trim these parts off. And we use the same principle for the big one. Split, and I'll split it with these two. And now we delete these surfaces that we don't need, that are extra surfaces. And I'm going to mirror this and do the same thing for this side. Split and delete the extra surface. All right, so once that is done, let's also log these guys. Let's first join them and log them. Okay, so we have these two floors that we need. Now the next thing that we need to do is to create these modules. So let's get rid of these, and let's go to the front. And now I'm just gonna use I'm gonna create these arcs. So as you can see here, they start a little bit off, so I'm going to use this line, and I'm going to offset it, let's say something like this, and let's mirror it here like this, and this will be my starting point. and I know that I want to have this arc, so I'll just keep from this end until this area here, and that should be my arc. Of course, this is not exactly the same as the image because we changed the perspective, and the image is not 100% flat, so we're gonna ignore it, and we're just gonna say mirror, and let's now mirror it on this side here. And one last thing here that we can do is we can create this line here as a reference. This is going to be the top line, and now we have basically these elements here, and we can also mirror this one on this side, and then we can mirror it on this side as well, and we know that it matches perfectly there. However, these ones that are on the side, I told you earlier that this guy actually needs to go all the way to the edge, so I'm going to use scale 1D, and I'm going to use this reference point and move it alongside here. And this guy I'll keep the same, so this side will be a little bit different, and I'm gonna move it from here to there like this. So now I know that this module will be the same as this side here. One last thing is to also create the similar thing for this module, so let's do that as well. I'll use, let me see, yeah, I'll use this one. I can use the same distance as I used here. I'm just gonna copy it here like this, but in fact it's a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna make it a little bit wider like so, and let's create the same kind of arc from here. There it is. And if you want, you can like tweak it up a little bit if you want to have better transition or something, you can do so. And let's mirror it alongside here. And of course, I want to keep the same kind of level here, so I'm going to copy these two up, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to bring it here. And of course, this needs to go a little bit before, like this, and mirror it here. And now we can basically just mirror all of this alongside here. But we don't need to mirror it because we'll just make one module, then we'll copy it over. So let's just check in to see how these guys look like. Okay, so this is actually extruded from the facade. So as you can see that it has the actual extrusion up. So how do we deal with this? Let's go to the perspective. And for example, let's say that this is this element. So now I actually don't need these. I'm going to hide them for now. I'm going to unlock. I'm going to use unlock, and I'll create transparency here, increase the transparency here so that I can see it like this. And now I will lock it again as it was locked before. Unlock. Okay, so we actually need to now create those modules that we see. So one cool thing that you can do, of course, you can use curve boolean, so that's always a weapon of my choice. So I create this one, then I mirror it here, then I do curve boolean again, then I create this one, and then I mirror it again here. So now we have 3 of these, and we have let's see, 2 of these rectangles like this, and let me isolate them. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna basically come here, I'm gonna select the inner ones, the inner points, and I will extrude it like this. Actually, I'm just gonna move it like this until I get that result. And I know that this will be also the same thing is gonna be happening with these guys. So I'm gonna temporarily hide this one, and I'm gonna move this guy. Actually, I'm gonna move just the top part from here to here. So now at this point, I'm going to actually explode this guy so that I can use sweep 2 on these two guys. And I'm gonna create this surface. Here it is. Let's mirror it, and let's planar surface this guy, and let's mirror it alongside here as well. So that's how easy it is to create this. And now at this point, I'm going to join this, and I'm going to create offset surface, and I'll bring it to, let's say, 2, and let's see what happens. I get this nice wall there, and let's do merge all faces to clean it up, and that's our first module there. All right, so now once we have this guy, we can uncover the rest, like these ones, because we talked about these ones that they need to use, it's a special kind of module because it goes all the way to the edge. So I'm gonna go to the front again, and I'm gonna use the same technique. So first I'm gonna create these, then I'm gonna create these, and one more time I'm gonna create this guy with this one, all by using curve boolean. And now a cool trick you can do, because you see that there's a lot of lines here, I can say select closed lines or select closed curves, and I'm gonna isolate them only. And now I just have those the ones that I just did. So I'm gonna again use the same principle. I'm gonna bring these guys, I'm gonna say move, and I will bring them in the same level as I brought this one, like this. And the same thing that I used on the previous one, I'll use here. Let's do explode. Let's temporarily hide this one, and now I'm gonna bring this this point here until there, and now I'm ready. I can uncover this one. I can also use explode for this one, and basically I'm ready. So first I'm gonna use planar surface on this one, planar surface on this one, and then I'm going to use explode curve to explode this one and this one. So I can use sweep 2. So I use sweep 2 and to create this surface, and one more time to create this surface. There it is. So now when you have it, we can join it. And let's do offset surface once more. Let's flip it, and there it is. So let's do merge all faces. In this case, it doesn't want to merge these guys, that's fine. And now once we have this, we can uncover the middle one, and we can use mirror to bring it on the other side. Once we have it on the other side, this floor is over, and now we can move on to the next ones. And as you can see here, we have this part here that we did. So now let's basically do the same principle. Just let me just hide these we don't need for now. So let's do let me see. All right, so one thing I noticed here is that actually this needs to be extended all the way down. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna basically delete these ones and copy these two here, and these two will be my guides. Bring them up a little bit. Okay, let's go to the front one more time. And now this this arc actually needs to go, this point needs to go here. So that was my previous mistake. So just wanted to make sure that I change it. Let's do set point. Let's do Y. Let's bring it in the same level. And now I'm just gonna correct the angle here Okay, something like this. Okay, so let's say that I'm happy with this angle, and I'm gonna mirror it here, and there it is. Okay, so let's do the same process again. Curve boolean. Bam. We can mirror this one because it's exactly the same. And the top, let's do the top. There it is, exactly the same as this one. And one last thing here that we do, select close curves, isolate. Now I'm gonna take these two and I'm gonna bring them to the same distance as this one. There it is. And as I always do, I bring this one, this point from here to there. Now let's do plan surface on both of these, and let's explode this curve, and let's do sweep to these two, and there it is. Mirror it, and we're done. Join it, offset surface, and there you go. Now I can just go to the front and I can mirror it here. And that's all there is to it. And now it's just about detailing. So what we can do from here, let's uncover everything, unlock, let's temporarily hide this. And let's of course uncover all of these. And now I'm going to basically I'm gonna do orient from here to here, and it should match perfectly like this, and it does. And now we can do a mirror. Let's find the midpoint. There it is. And let's do the same thing on this side. Let's do mirror, and there it is. Easy as that. Okay, and these guys, let's mirror them like so, and let's do also orient. I'm actually noticing here a slight difference with these guys. So in order to fix this, we can either bring this outward, these elements, can just bring them outward a little bit. So let's try that. I'm going to use solid points on, and I will select these points and these points, and I'm going to slightly move them like this. There you go. And that should work. So now I'm gonna just copy it all over as I did before, and I'm going to multiply this everywhere else, and there it is. So now we have these guys, and what we can do, we can create blocks out of these. Let's say block, and let's select this as insert point. So we're gonna say floor 2, and this will be floor 1. Block, floor 1. There you go. And now it's just a matter of duplicating this. So I'm gonna duplicate both of them. Let me see. Something like this. Let me see how many floors there is. There is like 15 floors. So let's see, let's count. And we can add a couple of more. And that should be it. All right, so that's how I would create this sunflower residential tower. And Of course, these are now the blocks. So once you change one particular element, everything else will be changed as well. So for example, if I modify, if I double click here, and let's say that I want to maybe play around with something like this. Maybe I want to create a rectangle here, and let me just show you. If I go like this, and let's say that this will be one of the mullions for the glass. I know it's too big, but for the sake of just explaining you, let me show you. So if I click OK, all of these will get that mullion, all of these every block. So that's how you modify. You modify just one, and everything else will be modified as well. So that was it for this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, or if you think there is some faster techniques that you can model this. And feel free to let me know if you have any future requests for future tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.